Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Thursday, October 2, 2025. And in the news this evening, sharing of details of death of Parish Court Judge sparks a concern from Bar Association. The Jamaican Bar Association has expressed a concern about the circulation of sensitive details regarding the death of Trelawney Parish Court Judge Ruth Lawrence, arguing that it violates her dignity and the data protection rights. While we mourn the tragic loss of a distinguished member of the judiciary, we are deeply troubled by the apparent non-observance of the Data Protection Act, which enshrines the right to privacy and the dignity of the individual, even in death, said Association President Tanisha Watkins. She stated that the law affirms that the personal data must be handled with care, respect, and a lawful purpose. The dissemination of intimate and distressing information without appropriate safeguards or justification undermines the solemnity of death, the humanity of the deceased, and those who are left to mourn her passing, she said. A police report into the death of Lawrence was widely circulated on social media, revealing her age, residence, husband's name, age and occupation, as well as how she is believed to have died. The DPA protects the data of deceased individuals for up to 30 years after their death. We condemn this breach in the strongest terms and urge all relevant authorities to thoroughly review the circumstances surrounding the release of this information. We further urge media entities, public officials, and the private citizens to exercise restraint and compassion when handling matters of such a profound sensitivity, Watkins said. Reluctant truck driver returns to the stand in Maitland murder trial. A clearly peeved delivery truck driver was recalled as a witness in the Constable Noel Maitland murder trial on Wednesday in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. The truck driver returned to the witness stand to assist with the clearing up of certain details linked to the July 12, 2022 disappearance of 24-year-old Donnelly Donaldson, a social media influencer. Donaldson was last seen at the Chelsea Manor apartment in St. Andrew, where Maitland lived at the time. Maitland is on trial for murder and preventing the lawful burial of a corpse in relation to Donaldson's disappearance. Audio recordings of conversations between Maitland and the driver were played in court on Wednesday. The conversations were recorded by the witness, who was very concerned after police seized his truck. On Maitland's request, the driver had picked up Seti from the constable's apartment and taken it to a car wash on Lyndhurst Road in St. Andrew. He was heard in the recordings telling Maitland that his truck had been seized after he picked up the Seti from the apartment. On the recordings, Maitland was heard asking the delivery truck driver if he wasn't going to help him to move the Seti from the car wash to another location. The driver replied asking Maitland on the phone call, "Who this? Are the police you this?" Maitland replied, "Yeah, bro." The driver then complained to Maitland that the police seized his truck after dropping off the Seti. Maitland, who appeared puzzled, asked the driver why cops seized the vehicle. "So why them take away the truck?" Maitland said on the recording. "How me fi know? Police took the truck and all kind of things." The court heard the driver reply. Maitland then told the driver that he called him because someone had told him that he, the driver, was in trouble with the police. The witness repeatedly told Maitland that he needed to know what the whole situation was all about. "Me no want nobody involved me in a no form of thing. I'm a big man who works hard. This thing is getting out of hand," added the driver. Maitland repeatedly laughed at the witness, who failed to recall the correct name of the constable. He sometimes referred to Maitland as Leighton, among other names. Before he left the courtroom, the witness had a statement to make. He told the prosecution team that he hoped they had no further reason to call him back to the stand. "Me tired of wanna know," he said, explaining that having to attend the court was impacting his business negatively. Jamaican woman faces 13 felony charges in U.S. over car theft scheme. A 24-year-old Jamaican woman who once worked as a security guard at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport's car rental center, is facing 13 felony charges after detectives accused her of conspiring with 3 men to steal a dozen vehicles from Hertz. According to a report from Local 10, Savannah Harsha Phillips, who was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and now lives in Sunrise, Florida, appeared Wednesday before Broward County Circuit Judge Thomas J. Coleman for arraignment. Prosecutors said she played a central role in a theft ring that allowed the cars to leave the Hertz parking garage without authorization on May 16 and May 17. According to a Broward Sheriff's Office detective, Phillips used her position to let the drivers exit the Hertz parking garage without showing a driver's license and pretending to scan the vehicles as they exited. The 12 stolen cars included multiple Kia K4 sedans, Nissan Altimas, a Hyundai Sonata, a Toyota Corolla, and a Nissan Sentra. Investigators later discovered that some of the vehicles were linked to crimes in other states, including a black Kia K4 connected to incidents in Texas and a white Toyota Corolla tied to crimes in Virginia. Detectives noted that Phillips had access to all Hertz company vehicles, knew the keys would be inside them, and was aware of the slowest times of business to commit the crime. Phillips was arrested at her Sunrise home on August 26 and booked into the Paul Rain Detention Facility. She faces charges including first-degree organized fraud, 5 counts of second-degree grand theft, and 7 counts of third-degree grand theft. A bond court judge set a bail at US $62,000, but ordered Phillips to prove the funds do not come from criminal proceeds. St. Catherine driver without a license and insurance who crashed into cars fined $280,000. The St. Catherine man who crashed into 2 vehicles and fled the scene was fined a total of $280,000 or 14 days imprisonment in the parish court on Wednesday. Donovan Benson, of a Spanish Town address, pleaded guilty to dangerous driving, no driver's license, no insurance coverage, and leaving the scene of an accident. Sentencing was handed down by Senior Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale. Facts are that on Saturday, September 13, Benson was driving a Nissan AD wagon that sped through the intersection of Duncan's Pen Road and the Spanish Town bypass. The vehicle crashed into 2 cars. He sped away from the scene. He was, however, later intercepted by the police. During questioning, it was revealed that he did not own a driver's license and had no motor vehicle insurance. He was arrested and charged. Manchester High students and the staff comb Wesley Road for missing schoolboy. Over 100 students and the staff from Manchester High have joined the search for their missing schoolmate, Jaden Smith, on Thursday morning. The search is currently focused on Wesley Road in Mandeville. On Wednesday evening, a child matching Jaden's description was reportedly seen in that area. According to eyewitnesses, when approached by locals, the child ran away. The news was on the scene Thursday, where several police personnel and the Manchester High students were observed combing the area. Principal of Manchester High, Jasford Gabriel, shared an update.
Thank you so much. So right now we have about 102 students and about 15 members of staff, and as you can see, there's a large contingent of police officers, maybe about 50 or so. I want to tell you the entire school population wanted to come out today, but the protocols that would have to engage with parents would not have allowed us to get everybody. But we believe the more the number of eyes that we can get on the road, the greater the possibilities. As it relates to the sighting, so conclusively, based on who I spoke with, Jaden was seen along this Wesley Road area here last night. When they raised the alarm, he started to run. One of my staff workers at school saw him, and she said that she had gotten some help from one of the male persons that was on the road that was going in the other direction. They could have held on to him, but by the time they could have done anything, he disappeared somewhere in the area. And so the positive we take from that is that he's alive. We are happy for that, and we think we are getting closer and closer to having a breakthrough. And so we are combing the area with a number of eyes, as we have said. And the expectation is that we will find him. We want to see him and grab him. And then we will take it from there because, you know, as you can imagine, the school community is quite uneasy. We're not so happy when one member suffers, the entire community feels it. You know, and the kind of outpouring, we had a prayer meeting this morning, you know, praying about the whole thing as a school community, and then following up with the search. And we believe that we are nearing to getting a breakthrough in this matter.
Thank you everyone for watching, and see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.